Welcome to Ultimate DIY, where you learn to be your own handyman. And today we have a really interesting tool review to do. We are going to take a look at the Firm Grip's new Build-A-Rig system. It's an amazing system where you will build your rig to be able to carry all of your tools. Either around your waist, on your side. You can even carry these things by hand with the big grip holder that they have here around the job site. So you can exchange these and move them around depending on what you need. So just full disclosure, Firm Grip sent all of this stuff out to me to go ahead and do a quick review and let you guys know honestly what I think about this. I have a bunch of tools laid out here on the side. We're going to go through and we're going to see just how these hold up and what they do. When they sent this out to me, one of the first things that impressed me was actually the labels. You know, they have these labels and they literally tie these to your bags with real leather. They're not using the little cheap little plastic straps holding it on. They literally use leather. I thought that was pretty good. And they go in and they give you little instructions on here of how to use each item and how it functions and works, and kind of give you some diagrams of some other options that you may not have even thought about. Now, the next thing I'd like to address is this. You can use like these big tool bags like this, and these are great, but they're cumbersome, they're hard to carry around, and I pretty much have to put everything in here and carry it with me wherever I go. You know, I do have the old tool belts like this one, and this is okay. It works all right, but it's all or none. I'm going to have to carry everything in this, or I'm going to have to unload it and reload it and change it around. You know, it's basically this rig or no rig. If I want a smaller unit, I can't have a smaller belt really just with one pouch. I'm going to have them all. It's just all or nothing. So I think the days of that are gone, and I think in the new age, what we are going to have seen is things like this with this Build-A-Rig. Now, the second thing I want to point out about these is their quality. It's a heavy-duty canvas construction with the leather. Everything is reinforced in the areas that you normally would have wear and tear. I do like also that when I go to put these on belts, it's simple Velcro. I don't have to sit there and fight the belt and try to weave it all through every time. I can get my belt on and then put this on. And not only that, I can use these, especially this smaller one here. I can use these on a regular belt. I don't have to have their belt if I don't want to. I can put it on my belt. Or I can use their thinner belt and I can use their thicker belt. So the foundation of their actual product line is going to be called the Everyday Belt. This is a little bit thinner, lighter weight belt instead of the big thick one here, which we'll go over in a minute. But it is a very nice military grade nylon, and it has a really, really heavy duty aluminum clip. And you can simply put this around you, clip it in, and you'll adjust the size. Now, I've left mine long for right now, but when you get it set up where you want, you'll go and you can cut this off to the length you want. And it does have a little piece here on the side that you'll slide over, which will actually hold that once you trim it. So you can leave this on the outside of your clothes like this, or you can put it inside of your belt loops, and it will function as just a regular, everyday, normal belt. So once you get the Everyday Belt on, you can use smaller attachments like this one. This one will hold all types of little tools that you can carry around. I like the fact that it just simply goes on the belt like the others, just like that. You can even do that with it on. Just slide it underneath and lock it into place, and it's on that quick. I would carry things like my stud finder on one side. I can carry nails in the other, right here. Have those loaded in, and I can even put my tape measure right on the front, and it has other loops. If you've ever gone in and you're working in someone's home or working in your own home and you have your hammer hanging on the belt loop in the back and you swing around and you're banging things with that hammer, the customer is getting annoyed, or if it's your stuff, you're getting annoyed. They've come up with a great solution with this hammer sleeve. Let me show you how this thing actually attaches. We're going to unclip, pull it off, and if you look right in the back here, you have a left and a right spot where, depending on which side you're wearing it, if you're wearing this on the right, you can put it on the right. If you're wearing this on the left, you can put it on the left. And what it does is this piece will go across it just like this. So you take the Velcro strap, pull it back, and you're simply going to feed it in the little loops here. So I'll pull this little loop out here and slide it down just like that right there. And then I'm going to do the same thing at the very bottom loop. If I can get it started. There we go. These units do not require any breaking in. They are already pliable and ready to use. All right, so now I have my sleeve right here. And what you'll do is you'll take and put your hammer in. Just like that. And let's put this back on. And clipped it into place. Now, what's cool is if you notice, my hammer now is kind of protected. I'm not going to be banging it on stuff. Now, I do have the tip out a little bit. You got to watch that little tip. But the hammer itself and the metal, which really does the damage, is protected and up against your body. And you can even spin this around a little more and have it behind you so that it's more in line with the back of your leg and not sticking out. Great attachment. Now that attachment will move to the big bags as well. So overall, fantastic. So another really cool attachment that you can add to the everyday belt is the hammer clip. You can actually pull that out if you're not using a sleeve and put this in here, and you can attach this behind you here. That's where I usually like to carry my hammer, is in the very back. It kind of distributes the weight a little bit better, works great for me. You also have a couple of other attachments that I really like. This one is very interesting. It's just a little metal clip. Now, by the way, the hammer one and this one you can use on a regular belt as well. So you do not have to have the everyday belt if you don't want it. So you'll take it, clip it directly on, get it locked into place just like that. So once you get it clipped into place on your belt, what this one does is if you're using power tools, they usually will have clips just like this here. You can take now and clip that on. And now I can walk around with this on without having to keep reaching down, setting it down. And by the way, if you've ever gone off and left one of these at a job site, it's extremely frustrating. You have to go back and get it, all wasted time. This gets rid of that problem. If I'm going up and down a ladder, I have everything with me. I'm not making multiple trips up and down that ladder. All right, guys, so the next thing I want to point out is this little tool attachment that they sent here. Now, if you're wearing the overalls and anything like that, you can actually clip these on. But what this does is it actually holds all of your different bits for your gun. So if I've got this strapped to my side, I can have this on here. I can actually strap it down on the belt. I can strap it actually to my loops down here, wherever I need to be able to put this to be able to carry it. And what it's going to do, it's going to allow me a quick method of getting to my bits. And I do like the way they do the bits. You're going to simply have to pull backwards and then you can pull the bit out. If you go to put the bit on, you do the same thing, pull backwards. Let me do it one-handed, and you put it on. So you can literally do this one-handed. So if I'm up in the air and I'm having to get a bit, I can literally pull it out just by holding that back, grab my bit, put it in place. Same thing, I'm going to put it back. There you go. Put my deal here. Make sure I've got my tape measure with me when I go up and work. I mean, I am ready to rock and roll. So now, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that I did a review on a product that was very similar to this. And I loved that product, but I will tell you, hands down, this is much heavier duty built than that product is. This will give you probably years of service. And as a matter of fact, I'm probably going to buy 2 or 3 extras of these and hang them in my tool trailer and a couple in my workshop so that I can just easily reach up and grab them. But the sheer heaviness of this is probably double from the other units that I've done the reviews on. Great product. All right, so now we are going to pull off some of the stuff here, and we're going to take a look at the bigger rig. So the bigger rig is what you're going to use a little more if you're framing. Now, obviously, they have different pouches for different types of, jobs. So if your trade is an electrician, they're going to have electrician rigs. If you're a plumber, they're going to have plumbing rigs, depending on what you do. So what I do is a little bit of everything, but the rig that I have here today is going to be more of a carpenter's rig. So guys, there's one other pouch on here I meant to point out to you guys that I kind of ran by real quick and didn't, and that's this little pouch right up here in the front. If you have construction calculators, you can slide those in there, but what I think most people are going to do is a cell phone. You can slide your cell phone in here and have it with you. When you go up a ladder, you're going into an attic, you're working, wherever you're working and building, you want to have your cell phone near you so you're not running back and forth. Not only that, for most people, it's their cameras. They're taking their pictures of the projects and things while they're doing the project. They need to have that nearby. So the first thing I want to point out on the big rig is this belt. It is a super nice belt. We're going to measure this so that you can see just how wide this is. It's about 4.5 inches wide at the widest point here, and it is cushioned. You can feel cushioning inside of this leather that's wrapped and sewn, which is great because what that means is this is not only a tool belt, but when I put this on, I can actually use this as a back brace. So if you're doing a lot of heavy lifting and moving around, it gives you that little bit of extra back support. This also has suspender locations. These little hook areas that you see right here all the way across are to be able to hook up the suspenders as well. So it can take a little bit of weight off your hips if you like to carry it a little bit higher on your shoulders. So basically, though, it is made the same. The one difference here is the belt is actually thicker than your everyday belt. The everyday belt feels just a little lighter because it's meant to be able to slip on real quick and go and lightweight. This belt is going to be a little bit thicker gauge, more military type weaving on this one. So the buckle itself is just like the everyday belt, aluminum, lightweight, and flat fronted. Now, you may be asking yourself, why is flat fronted even really matter? Well, if you're doing just new construction and you're out working on a building, it's probably not going to matter to you. But if you're a DIYer, if you're a handyman, if you're anyone who's going into someone's home, including your own home, and you're wearing this and you're going around surfaces like freshly painted walls, nice furniture, things like that that can get damaged. When you have a buckle that sticks out, even like the buckle on this one right here. So when you look at this buckle, it has a lot of pieces that'll actually stick out. Matter of fact, the little pins here will stick way out, and I have gouged things with these pins. That's not a good thing. You end up damaging things. This buckle's very smooth. There's nothing that's going to stick out. It's close in to you, so you're not going to damage things. So that's a really big plus with this unit. All right, so now we have the unit. Now I can actually put these bags on with this on, just like I did earlier, because they simply slide out. But what I'm going to do is show you kind of how it would work. And I'm just going to open those up so it makes it really simple. I'm going to put that one on. Now, they have a right and a left. So this has got the R, so it's going to be on my right side. Then I'm going to come over here to my left side. There's my left. And put it right here. Just like that right there. And so now they're both locked in place. So when you look at them, I've got right and left. And when I go to put them on, I'm just going to swing this around. Now, if you're wearing the suspenders, it's a little easier to put these belt rigs on because you can just kind of throw it over your shoulders. But then I'm going to move this in, and this is adjustable too. Now, this again, I have not trimmed. I've left it long for the presentation, but when you get this at home and get your own unit, you're going to want to pull this tight and then you'll trim it, but give yourself always a little extra room. You never know, if you get happy at Thanksgiving time or something, you may need that room. Okay, so the rig is actually on. You can adjust them by sliding them, get them right where you want. Now, the hammer, usually the big thing that I always make sure I'm carrying, there's a couple ways to carry it. I can use the attachment right here. Go ahead and put this on the back of the belt and slide it on that way. Or I can actually slide them in one of the little sleeves here. I'm going to go ahead and do that for the demonstration just so you can see, because it's different than just the simple one in the back. Now, this one in the back, one other thing I want to point out, guys, is this is heavy duty. I believe it is an aluminum. It's very lightweight, but it's very strong. And the leather itself is stitched really well. It's all leather. Should last quite a while, but it'll hold really nicely the hammer without it moving around or flopping or falling out. All right, so we have the actual unit on. There's a ton of bags here. We are going to take a bunch of tools and we're just going to see what all we can fit in here. So some of the first things I know that I'm going to want to carry are, say, nails. So we're going to take some strip nails, and these are the smaller trim strips, and we're going to see where we can fit those. We're just going to put them off to the side right there. Now, here is a coil of nails, fencing nails. We're going to throw those in. That holds really well. Still don't feel much of any difference. I've got my staple gun. Now, this staple gun can clip on the belt, but we're going to put it inside. Just like that. And pencils, just like that. Say we got an extra bit. I'm going to go ahead and carry that with me. We'll put it right there. Got a cutting knife. I'm going to put my cutting knife. I'm going to see if it'll just clip right here, which it does. And let's see if we've got a good spot for this, which it's going to be probably one of these. Would work the best. And let's see what else I want to put next. So on these front pouches, let's try some bits. We'll set those right there. We have our stud finder. Now this side actually has a little divider. This one doesn't. So we're going to divide that, put it there, just like that. Actually, I'm going to turn it that way. So the next thing I'd like to try to get in here is I have some shims and I have some long fasteners. Let's go ahead and see where we want to put these. Now you have pockets up here in the very front. I'm going to feed a couple of those into there, just like that. And I have another little pouch off to the side here. And I'm going to see if I can fit the shims. Let's see if we can get just a couple in there, see how that works. Ah, there they go. So you have a pouch right up here in the front. You can actually put some shims. So if you need to carry a couple of shims with you, you can. If you need the extras, you can shove them off to the side. And let's see if I've got a place to put this. This is going to be my big reel. See if it'll actually fit. Pull that one out for a minute. Let's see if we can work that. Actually, you know what? I can probably just clip this onto the side. I can do it there, or maybe do it back here. That way, yeah, I think that's a little better because it's not going to hit so much. And then if you needed other tools, like some hand tools, and you're going up, you got a lot of room to be able to load those. Got those there. Can't forget our square. We probably really want to get that. We're going to load that right there. Need some more cutters. Oh, and a big flashlight. Is there a place to put that? I'm wondering if that would hold here. There we go. Flashlight fits perfect there. And, well, I can carry that if I have to. But I think I can get it right in here, just like that. And then I have a place maybe to still put my phone. Yeah, it's a little tight for there. I have a whole compartment left for more stuff here. Let's see where this thing will go. I can see where I want to loop this. You know what? I could loop these right there on the hand grip. So I have those with me. And then I would just simply put on my gloves. Which, by the way, if you haven't checked out the firm grip gloves, they're really nice. I like these particular gloves because they're built more for a carpenter, and they're reinforced right at the thumb and the forefinger here, and the forefinger itself, the trigger finger, is reinforced as well. So very great glove. And I have very large hands. I was really impressed. These are extra larges, but they fit me. I'm usually a 2 or a 3X person when it comes to gloves. So put those on. And so now I am ready to rock and roll. So overall, guys, it feels great. I might like to go ahead and get the suspenders just to take a little bit of the weight off if I'm going to load it up super heavy like this. And remember, you don't have to have two sides. You can have one side. You don't even have to do this belt. You can do the everyday belt right here. And guess what? You don't even have to do the everyday belt. You can buy all of these packs, these sleeves and everything, and use them on your own just regular belt if you want. There are so many options. I don't think you're going to go wrong with this system. So the next question is from the guys who probably don't shop at Home Depot. Where do I get Firm Grip? Firm Grip is going to be available at Home Depot. I will also leave a little link in the description, and you can check it out that way as well. So I hope you got a little something out of this video. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing, and we will see you guys on the next review.